How are you?
Good. How you
How do
doing?
you pronounce your first name?
Karene?
Karene. Okay.
Yeah.
What, what is that?
Samoan.
Samoan.
Yeah,
Really?
Polynesian.
You guys have a lot of different. You're a very ethnic team.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. No, we really are.
Yeah. Is that common for Utah, or is it just? This team
I would
like
say
this?
more so just the university.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very diverse.
Yeah.
We love it though. Yeah. It's important. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
All
so.
kinds of backgrounds.
It's kind of cool. Talk a little bit about what this year was like for you guys, because your year was quite a bit like Penn State's, in that you started out really good, you suffered some losses, you lost a game to Oregon, and it looked like we're not going anywhere great, and then all of a sudden you're in the Rose Bowl. Talk about what that ride's been like for you.
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy. I think the most important thing is that we controlled what we could control, and so when the chance presented itself for us to be in the championship game, we were ready for it. So it wasn't a perfect season by any means, but I feel like we put ourselves in a position to be ready to succeed. So it's been crazy, but it's been a heck of a ride, man.
And now you're in a position to become the first team in school history to win a Rose Bowl.
Right.
So that's got to be, I would think, kind of exciting and something maybe you didn't think possible a month ago, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, originally to start the season, we're like, man, let's go to the playoffs, let's make history, right? Because we've already been to the Rose Bowl. Well, you know what? We didn't win last year. So if we want to make history, we got to win this game.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year's game was a fantastic game, obviously. I mean, it didn't end fantastically for you guys,
Yeah.
but it was probably one of the best Rose Bowls ever played. What do you draw from that? I mean, and how much does that game motivate you, even though this is a different year and a slightly different team?
Yeah, I hear that from fans all the time, like one of the greatest games to watch, right? But as far as being on the defensive side, if we could have gotten just a couple more stops, right, it's a totally different game. So I think as a defense, we have a lot to prove being on this stage again. So I hope it's a lot more of a defensive game than it was last year.
I know offense is, pretty popular in the Pac-12, and you're playing a team in Penn State that has a lot on offense. I mean, they've got a veteran quarterback, 2 freshman running backs who've kind of lit it up this year, receivers, a strong offensive line. Talk a little bit about, in terms of facing a team like that, do they remind you of anybody you played this year? And talk about the challenge of trying to shut down somebody like that.
Yeah, as far as the style of the offense, maybe Oregon State, just a run-heavy team, but I've been really impressed with both their running backs and their offensive line, so we'll have our hands full with that run game for sure.
I think both these teams pride themselves on toughness on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You're kind of alike in that. Is this a great opportunity to test your toughness now and see mano a mano who's going to be the tougher team Monday?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think we've been talking about that as a team since we knew we were playing Penn State. We pride ourselves in being the toughest team in the pack. Well, you know what? Now we have a chance to prove ourselves on a national stage that we are really tough and aggressive.
How much did you enjoy Disney yesterday?
It was good, man. I have a little 6-month-old son, so once he was done, the whole show was done. We took the first bus back, but we were happy to be out there.
Did you watch your teammates riding the horse-drawn carriages down Main Street? What kind of an experience was that?
No, that was cool. They looked like some real celebrities out there, man. It was fun. Yeah.
It wasn't quite Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Right, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
How important is it, though, when you come to a game like this, any big bowl game, to balance the fun with the getting down to we have a game to play on Monday?
Yeah, man. Coach Witt's been praising that all week long. Like, you deserve that fun, right? You made it this far, but what's going to determine who wins the game is who can focus when it's time to focus. So we've already felt that in the first practice, how intense and serious the coaches were. Like, hey, it's still a business trip. As fun as everything is, it's still about the game.
Mixing business with pleasure, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, good. And good luck to you and your newborn son, too.
Hey,
that's great.
Thank you.
To bring him. It's funny, the first time I ever came out here for a Penn State USC game, my son was 2 weeks old.
No way.
We brought him. My daughter was like 6. And so we just put him on a plane, took him out here, and they had a great time.
Yeah.
I was working my butt off covering the Penn State USC game. But I'll never forget that, 2-week-old infant.
Yeah, dude.
Flight, and he was perfect. And then the next time, when Penn State played in the '94 Rose Bowl against Oregon, he was 3 by that time. First time he'd ever really remembered being on a plane, and he was great until we landed, and he puked all over my briefcase.
Hey.
Memories.
Memories, exactly. That's what memories. That's awesome.
We'll have more good memories.
I know. Appreciate it. Thank you. What was that?
I just wanted to smile. See,
Oh. Hey, I know this guy. Hey, how are you, dude?
Good. Connor.
Karene, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm with the, are you jumping in?
Go
for
ahead.
it.
No, you can go.
I got a couple quick things.
Go ahead. Go.
So I'm with the Rose Bowl. We're just doing a couple of social media things.
Gotcha.
Just got little quick answers for you.
Okay.
All right, first one. Who in the locker room is not getting the aux cord?
Oh. Oh. You know, everyone says Dalton Kincaid, so I'm just gonna hop on that and say Dalton.
Word on the street is you're one of the guys that doesn't get the aux cord.
No, there's no way. I don't even use the aux cord, so I don't know how they could say that.
What type of music are you playing if you get them?
Anything from island to rap to country. That's why they can't say me because I have so many different kinds.
All right, who on the team has the most exotic hobby?
Oh. That's a good question, man. I know a lot of people are fishers, but outside of that, I'm not too sure.
Right on. That's all I got. Thank
Okay,
you.
appreciate it.
How was Disneyland?
Sorry, do you mind if I drop this down?
Oh, yeah.
Just can't have the propel.
Okay, my bad. Nope.
Disneyland.
Once my 6-month-old son was done, we were done, man. We caught the first bus back, but it was good to be around the guys and see everything that Disney has to offer.
Have you been there before?
Yeah. It's different with the newborn, though.
Yeah.
Man.
What can you do with a 6-month-old?
The teacups, and that's it. That is it.
That's a boy, right?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Manu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Manu.
Now that you're here, you know, we talked about this for a few weeks. How exciting is it to now like when we had you on television, it seemed like it was in the distance. You know, it had so much to happen, Christmas and all. And now that you're here and you're doing actual prep, how exciting is it to know that you're going to be in the Rose Bowl in a few days?
Yeah, I love it, and I love the vibe that I'm getting from the coaches. It's very business-like. I think it was very exciting leading up to it, but now that we're here, I've been really impressed with the focus of the team, with everything that's going on, right?
So is it easier because most of the kids have been through it to have the more business game focus as opposed to all the stuff that goes with it because you had that experience last year?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. It's still exciting, but like you said, because we've been here before, like if you talk to juniors, it seems like everyone's more focused on the game than last year, for sure.
And then I would assume that would lead to better opportunities to win?
Yeah, for sure. I think because we've had all these, what would you say, gifts, blessings, but activities, but the trophy is the one thing we didn't get. So
Right.
That's what everyone's going for.
Yeah. As you delve more deeper into Penn State, what are you seeing from their offense?
I'm just really impressed with their run game. I think if we don't do a good job of gap control, they're gonna make us pay. And those running backs combined are the real deal. So.
Yeah, it seems that it's kind of funny in that Utah's strength since Kyle's been there has been run defense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been so good over the years, and it doesn't matter. Players come and go, but it's still run defense, and that's where he pushes it. And then you look at Penn State's offense, where their strength is the running game. So it's going to be strength against strength, I would think.
Yeah.
That's kind of... I don't know if it plays to your strength more because it's what you do, but at the same time it's what they do. You know, how do you figure it out?
Yeah, I mean, that's our comfort zone,
Right.
is teams running the ball.
Right.
So if they're able to establish the run game on us, then they can establish the play action game. And so we just got to make sure from the start of the game that we stop that run and force them to spread the formation and pass the ball. But that's our comfort zone, so we got to keep it that way.
How gratifying has it been for you as a defender to see, and Morgan was just talking about this, to see the defense from August to now make the level of improvement that it's made during the course of these 3 months?
Yeah, it's crazy. I haven't really taken the time to step back and think about it, like you said, but it's crazy. I mean, UCLA, USC, the first time, right?
Yeah.
Those were some pretty poor performances, but ever since we tightened it up, it seemed like week to week, it's just gotten better. It's been amazing. Appreciate it.
How did like playing a team like USC give you the confidence you got against a team like Penn State?
Yeah, USC has had a lot of national attention, right, since their first game, and so to be able to beat them twice, more so to proving to other people, it's proven to ourselves, like we can hang with the top teams in the country.
So you said focusing on Penn State's run game was a big thing, but how do you balance focusing on the run while also paying attention to the pass a little bit, especially with Penn State's tight ends?
Yeah, I think they go hand in hand. Once someone establishes the strong run game, then they have the play action off of it, and that's when their tight ends, for the most part, get involved. So as much as we're focused on the run game, we got to make sure that we have those tight ends in our eye as well.
What differences do you see between Penn State's 2 running backs?
10 seems more physical, in my opinion. 13 has a little bit more juice to him as far as side-to-side movement. But outside of that, they seem pretty similar to me, to be honest. Both can make it happen, get down the field, so I've been impressed with both of them.
Your defensive coordinator and a couple other guys said that they remind you most of Oregon State. Would you agree and why?
Yeah, no, I was just saying that too. I think because Oregon State has such a strong run game and they succeed, they're successful in what they do. In order to have a strong run game, you have to have an O-line with great technique and discipline, and that's exactly what I see from Penn State.
What makes your defense so successful?
I would just say since the middle of the season to now, we've become a lot more disciplined in gap control. You know, no one's really given up gaps, and when we did in the past, you know, that was some of our poorest performances.
What have you seen from Penn State's offensive line?
Just great hands, moving at the same level. They don't give up a lot of gaps in the run game. So just discipline and technique.
Karene, you've obviously been a part of this last year, everything, first experience, but what is kind of maybe the redemption or whatever factor of this year?
I was just saying that because it's our second time around, I feel like we've already experienced everything, right? So we're not as big-eyed about it, and everybody just wants to get the trophy. Like, that's the one thing we didn't get to experience last year. So the vibe from the coaches at practice yesterday was a lot more business-like than I remember.
Do you like that? I mean, obviously you want to have the fun, but like, do you like that everybody's kind of locked in that way?
Yeah, I love it. I think we had our fun last year. You know, we still deserve to enjoy this, but I think second time around, it's about the game.
A lot of the guys in the secondary talk about kind of they don't want to be remembered last year as kind of giving Ohio State everything that they got, right? Obviously, you in the front a little bit, being able to help that. Do you feel like this is an opportunity where you can show, okay, this is what our real defense looks like as opposed to last year?
Yeah, and I think it's hard to compare the two because the offenses are so different, right? The passing game of Ohio State was so explosive, and now the run game. But yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to us front seven, you know, holding them in the box and limiting their explosive run plays.
When you were talking to your brother to come here, I mean, did you like tell him, hey, we're going to be in the Rose Bowl again? Was it playoffs? Like, what was kind of the convincing factor?
Yeah, I mean, the talk was playoffs since the beginning, making history. But I mean, winning the Rose Bowl, we have a chance to make history too. So I think when he first joined the team, he couldn't believe the talent that we had on defense compared to his former team. Looking at the secondary all the way up.
5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes.
Yeah, really sold him with that.
Everybody wants to talk about Ohio State or Penn State as these blue bloods of the country, right? And with their own right, they are. Do you feel like Utah's kind of getting into that newer version of that kind of, maybe not necessarily blue blood, but being more respected that way?
Yeah, I think, and if you look at the past 5 years and how many times we've been in the Pac-12 and now our second Rose Bowl, we should definitely be in the conversation of a very consistent program on the national stage.
I'm going around asking a lot of your other teammates about, obviously some of the fun things you guys were able to do, but just looking at the season as a whole, who are some of the funnier guys on the roster?
That man over there, Junior Tafuna, Money Parks, our receiver number 10. Funnier guys.
Everyone keeps mentioning Stone. There you go.
Yeah.
What is it about Stone that everyone just...
He's just not serious. But the crazy thing is, he really is about his business, but man, he is just, he doesn't know where the line is when the joking, when it comes to joking. So, yeah, that man is hilarious.
And I think RJ mentioned Cam Rising as someone who's maybe under the radar as one of the funnier guys. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. The thing about him is he's so genuine, too, right? So, like, when he's just himself, dude, he's a funny guy. He really is.
And just speaking of Cam, obviously you guys play defense, but just going up against him in practice and different things like that, what does he mean to this program, and just what is maybe something that someone outside of the program wouldn't know about him?
Just that he's a competitor every day. You guys see it on Saturday, but you guys don't see Monday through Friday where he's talking smack to the defense, trying to get the edge every single day. So just a very consistent person.
And speaking of offense, you guys are obviously going up against Penn State in the Rose Bowl. What have you seen from them on film? Anything stand out to you for Penn State's offense?
Just their ability to establish the run game. I think everyone's talking about their 2 running backs in that offensive line. Just been very impressed with the way that they've been able to create explosive plays game after game.
And their quarterback, anything from him that maybe any tendencies or anything that kind of stands out? I know everyone's mentioning the run game, but with their quarterback, he's been there for some time, so he's an experienced guy. Anything kind of stand out, or maybe there's someone in the Pac-12 you can compare him to, or anything along those lines?
Yeah, no, the experience definitely shows when he plays. It doesn't seem like he makes many mistakes, and I think he's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. I think he's faster. I think he will be faster in person than he looks on film by the way that he's able to separate at times. And so in the Pac, there's a lot of athletic quarterbacks, but I don't think we can downplay this man's athleticism either.
And obviously Clark Phillips isn't playing in this game, but what has he meant to the program? Obviously he's a kid from California, so what has he meant to the Utah program? What have you seen from him as one of the guys on defense this season?
He's just somebody that does everything right, and it's contagious. It's contagious. It leads into the defense, and everybody wants to follow him. And then when you're a playmaker in that way, it's easy to follow someone like that.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah.